Hello everybody, video here for you today. Let's see if this is working. Sorry, I have to use two computers. Reloading, there it is. Reloading my website on the other computer. Okay, and so I'll be using that to look at the chat. Mute that. Okay. All right. I just decided to do this for the moment. I have the list of stuff to do. And the first is my plugs. So let's see. Let's go to, there we go. There's the screen there. And let's go here because here is my, there we go. There are my plugs. And I'm Coach Steve Money. And I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And you can schedule free financial coaching with me, a consultation assessment at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, Coach Steve Money at gmail.com. I also answer questions in the comments of videos. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. Haven't posted anything on there for quite a while. I'll try to get better at that. And of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Go back to my main page there. You see on the right side, it's a schedule free consultation. That will take you directly to calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. And you can schedule that free consultation with me. No strings attached at all. And I will, I'm not royalty. I'll try to help you out there. Let's see. So we did the plugs. What else did I want to do? Promote the channel. Most of the stuff I've done lately is concerning Oak Island. There are 4 more episodes left of Curse of Oak Island this season, and so that's winding down. That's probably where I've gotten most of my 571 subscribers. I appreciate that so much for everyone that has subscribed. If you haven't, please consider it. Like the videos if you like them, and comment. Again, I do answer questions in the comments. What I used to do a Ramsey Show after show after the Ramsey Show video was over every day since the last one was 8/24, August 24th. And so I might do something like that. Probably won't be able to do it every single day, but I may go back to doing something like that. But what did I want to do? Oh, my music playlist has a Rachel Cruz song, and I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz. And yeah, I didn't write the music for it. That's me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to John Deloney song. And the John Deloney song goes, ooh, we call him Dr. D, as you can see. But his parents named him John Deloney. Ooh, he's got 2 PhDs, 2 more than me. Plus, he's got some other certs. John Deloney, never gonna stop. Gives advice, such a brilliant mind, he always roots it out. Has the clout of the healing kind. John. Woo! Yeah, I'm not playing the music because I don't want to get copyright infringed today. But the music is in my on these particular playlists. And of course, we have the Baby Steps song. Thanks to Ed Sheeran for the wonderful music, and Justin Bieber for the wonderful vocal stylings. And it goes, like all plans, it starts with step 1. $1,000 emergency fund. Step 2, you'll pay off all your debt. Except mortgage, we don't do that yet. All right, so you can go there and listen to the entire song if you would like, and I would much appreciate it if you would do that, if you're interested in that. And what up, Syd? Syd has joined the chat there. I didn't announce that I was going to be doing this, so not really expecting any questions, but I am going to, as usual, go to the Reddit. And got off track already. Let's see, what was next on the thing? I did promote this. I promote the song. Okay. And yeah, so now we go to Reddit. Boom, boom, boom. All right, the YouTube, of course, is delayed from me saying it here. It's not instantaneously, so I just got thrown off by that. So we go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And let's see what we got here. The Did You Hear section, they stopped doing that apparently. But let's see. Bring your own lender emergency fund on steroids. Interesting. That's from Piano Player. Let's see. I'm thinking that after I finally get out of debt that I never want to borrow again. That's excellent, and that's actually doing it correctly. Baby step 0, when you decide to do these steps, when you decide to take Dave Ramsey's advice, is to decide that you are never, ever, ever going to use debt for anything again, except he's fine with you getting a home mortgage, a mortgage on a place you live in. If it's rental property, you have to buy that completely in cash, not Clash. That's a band. Let's see. I was thinking that it would be cool, all right, to set a new goal after becoming debt-free. Sure. To build up a cash reserve of $100K that's just sitting in a high-yield savings account. If I ever wanted to make a big purchase, then I could lend myself the money out of this account. I'd then be obligated to pay myself back, so the account is up to $100K. Of course, as a side goal in addition to retirement, etc. Just a thought. Okay, and that's fine. But after you get out of debt, getting out of debt is consumer debt is step 2. Step 3 is your full emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. But then after that, you're not supposed to save anymore. Unless you are up to baby step 7. If you're not on baby step 7, you are to 15% of gross income. Invest that for retirement. Address kid college. You can start saving if they're young. You can start saving a little bit. If they're older, you got to save a little bit more. If you choose to help them with college, some parents want them to do it all on their own, and that's fine as long as it's not student loans. And of course, never co-sign, never do the parent plus. Don't do that, either student nor parent. That is not good advice. So where were we? Baby step 5. Oh, and baby step 6. Now, instead of having more than your 6-month at max emergency fund in the bank or in a high yield savings account, you should pay off the house first. Now, once you get that house paid off, you can do whatever you want with money, except put yourself in a lower baby step. The only exception would be if you're renting and you get to step 7 because 6 doesn't apply, and then later you decide to buy a house, then you're back in baby step 3B, which is saving up down payment, but that's fine. Alrighty, so yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. It's just you don't pile up a bunch of cash instead of paying off the house is the dealio there. Let's see. Yep. No, but nobody asking questions on the thing. We don't normally get that because I haven't lately, especially lately, I haven't announced ahead of time when I'm going to be doing this. All right, this is from Michi the Cleaner. Quick question, if I have a 0 credit score, could that possibly affect a security clearance? Since my ability to handle my finances can't be necessarily determined. That could possibly happen. Hopefully they would allow for doing like a complete, if they're going to check that, they're going to do a complete background check on you, and so they will see that you pay all your bills on time and such, and so that shouldn't be an automatic no for you, but you may have to pass the full background check on that, and you can just ask them. I don't think so. Don't care what security clearance. Don't care what the score is. They care about delinquent debt and how recent it was. If you're 20, no. If you're 30 and don't have a credit score, you probably get asked about it. You won't get turned down. But okay, so probably those guys know what they're talking about. It's Reddit. It's the internet. So sometimes you won't. If you're not familiar with the baby steps, they're right there. Oh, this subreddit is run by fans. It's not run by Ramsey Solutions. There are negative things on here. There is non-Ramsey advice given on here. But the people that run it are pretty nice. They let me post the link for the Baby Step song on here, and then I asked if I could post the John Deloney song, and I never heard back from them. So, but they did let me post that, and I did get some views out of that, and maybe some subscribers. But yeah, if you're not familiar, Baby Step 1 is save $1,000, as you heard in the song. $1,000 emergency fund as fast as possible. Baby Step 2, pay off debts from smallest to largest using the debt snowball method. Baby Step 3, grow your $1,000 savings into 3 to 6 months of living expenses. That's your personal expenses. That's not an amount that Dave comes up with. That is your personal expenses. You want to get 3 to 6 months, and that depends on how well you sleep at night. If you would sleep better at night with 6 months, that's fine. You can certainly do that. If you have zero life drama or job drama, no reason to think that you should lose your job or anything like that, then 3 months is fine. Baby Step 4, invest 15% of gross income into retirement. Address kids' college. If you have children, if you don't have children, you can skip that one. And then Baby Step 6, pay off mortgage early. If you're a renter, guess what? You're in Baby Step 7 already. Until you decide to buy a house, and then you save for the down payment, and you're back in Baby Step 3B, which is not on the list. Baby Step 0 and Baby Step 3B is not on here, and I should do a whole video on that soon. I've been talking about that for 2 years or something. Let's see, what does... So borrowing from a huge savings account just sounds like goal savings with more steps. Yeah, true. Yeah, I see what it's saying. Large debt is a red flag for security clearance, right? And so if you are debt free, that's much better than having a good credit score and lots of debt. For anybody, you would think. But yeah, and back to what you're saying about the thing about saving up enough money to doing that first. Yeah, it's basically more steps, because why not just save up for the thing that you want to buy? But once you pay off the house, you can do whatever you want to do, except put yourself in a lower baby step, unless that baby step is just saving money. Baby Step 3B for a down payment, and then you would, once you put the down payment on the house and get the mortgage, then you would immediately jump back up to probably Baby 4, 5, and 6. You'll still be doing all at the same time, if Baby Step 5 applies. Alrighty, good point there, Syd. And yes, I should have her as a co-host. I've always said that. Let's see. Pizuki123. She thinks of a lot of things that I don't think of. Debt-free but discouraged. Okay. And this can happen. We're debt-free and have 6 months of expenses saved up. Excellent. That means you're doing it right. That means you're ahead of at least 78% of the population, who live paycheck to paycheck. You're ahead of them, and probably with the 6 months saved, that's probably going to put you even more, probably closer to 85%. But you're doing great. You make decent money, but I'm really concerned about being able to purchase a home or purchase a new vehicle if needed. A new car. Well, you don't buy a new car, per Dave Ramsey's advice. You don't buy a new car unless you are a net worth millionaire, because you can't afford to take the depreciation. The amount the car depreciates in the first year, a new car, is ridiculous. And so he advises you not to do that. So yeah, a new car is $35K plus, right? And to buy a home, we're talking $300K with 7% interest rate. Are they up that much? Oh yeah, I think it is about that much. Okay. I really don't know how we're going to get ahead. I'm not interested in spending $10K on a clunker on Facebook. Well, I mean, that's up to you. You can follow Dave's advice, or you can do your own thing. You probably followed his advice so far, being debt free and having the 6 months of expenses instead of some random number. It happens to be exactly what he recommends. Wow. So if that worked for you, maybe the rest of the advice will work for you as well. A 10K on a clunker on Facebook. Well, wherever you find it. And of course, private sale is going to be better, both selling and buying. You get a better deal than you will from the dealer either way, whether you're selling or buying a used car. So, but what you do is you take that car, you go with the person that owns it, or you ask them to take it to a mechanic of your choosing, and you pay, unless they offer it as a free service. Some of them do, as a way of drumming up business. They will check out used cars that you are going to buy. You're thinking about buying, and so if they charge for it, you can pay that, and so it's well worth the money. Have it checked out before you buy it, but you will get the people that just they won't do that. So. Let's read the rest. Getting additional jobs isn't an option. We both work full-time, have small kids, and work in fields where hot nights, weekends are common. Okay, right now we're okay renting and driving our paid-off vehicles, but I know this is not what I want to do forever. I really don't have a solution, just venting. Okay, well, the solution is to follow Dave's advice. But if you're not going to buy a used car, you're not going to buy a used car, and best of luck to you. Hopefully it will work out. But you know how it works. If you've seen Dave Ramsey's advice on it, you've seen him go through the car payment and comparing that to money invested. And after 30 years, it ends up being millions of dollars. And hope you like the car, is what he says on that. Alrighty, let's see. 10K is a clunker. Oh, see about the security clearance. It says large debts means you would be susceptible to bribes. All right. And 10K is a clunker, right? I have been driving a car, a 2005 Suzuki Verona. It had 80,000 miles on it. When I bought it for $1,750. I have had a couple problems, but nowhere near the expense that would be involved with a new car, and certainly no payment. So let's see, what did I have to do to it? I had to, so it was more like $2,000, because right after I bought it, I had to get the new tailpipe put on it. So that took it up closer to $2,000, but still, that's the point. And then about 8 months ago or something like that, I had to get new brake lines, because the brake lines were all like rusted through and such. But other than those two things, I haven't had a problem for 3 years. So there you go. But yeah, so I mean, people are people. They're gonna make their own decision. They're gonna draw a line in the sand on some things, and some people don't want to take that chance on a used car. But guess what? New cars break down and have problems as well. Granted, you would probably have some kind of warranty on them. Don't buy the extra warranty. Yeah, so that's that. Let's just check to see what 10K is the most expensive car we bought in years. I have paid off a condo. 10K isn't a clunker if you put some work in. Also, if you got two full-time workers there, have small kids and work in fields where nice weekends are common, perhaps they're doing a thing that a lot of people do, is they are working, both parents are working and paying for daycare, and that daycare basically negates one parent's income. So if it's even close to what the lower paid parent is making, maybe the lower parent stays home, and you don't pay that, and you just make less money. So that would be my advice on that. But I did revisit the budget. Maybe there's stuff in there that is, the person here has doesn't want to buy a used car, even a 10K one, which would be 10K would be luxury upon luxury for me. So maybe he has some other things in the budget that we might think is ridiculous. Of course, 35K. Damn, sis, what kind of sis? Is that a female? Don't know. You make decent money. Jack, debt free, Jack, 6-month check. So what exactly are you worried about? Exactly. You don't have to divert money from the emergency fund into down payment. You just start saving the down payment. Licensed loan officer would be more than happy to jump on a call with you to chat about all of this. Exactly. I think the person was being sarcastic, even though they didn't use the /s on it. So there you go. Yeah, on a clunker. Why would you buy a clunker? You can get a good, reliable, used older car for 10K. Yeah, just, people have their lines they draw in the sand for no good reason, apparently. Oh, I forgot to check the clock. Let's see, so I don't do 8 hours of this. What's wrong with the car payment in this scenario? Well, I don't even have to read it. Not even reading it. Because it's debt. As I said, baby step 0 is you decide to not use debt for anything except buying a home that you live in. That is the only debt that Dave Ramsey will not yell at you for, because any other debt is just stupid. Stupid. Let's see now. We'll read the thing and see if there's any additional information that makes the baby steps invalid. We'll see. Hadn't happened before. We make $170K per year, and on baby step 6, I'm about to turn 30. Save up for the freaking car. I'm about to turn 30 and feel like I'm being too cheap. We have 2 paid off cars, but want a 4x4. I can sell my car, get the 4x4 for $250 a month. Why not just save up for it? Sell one of the paid off cars and put that money towards the 4x4. I mean, I wouldn't recommend that. If the other car works, I wouldn't recommend it until the house is paid off. But I mean, almost anything is better than getting a car payment. It's these people why I wonder why they're even on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. Go to the debt financial advice page instead. I don't know. Let's see, and we'll pay it off in September with the decent inheritance I'm getting. How about you wait till freaking September and then buy the 4x4 after that? Gosh, people are so stupid. I want the car for the summer, yeah, and don't want to have to wait for the car. What would Dave say? What do you think Dave would say? Really, what do you think Dave would say? I hope you please call up and ask. 888-825-5225, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. He would be glad to take your call, and he won't say you're stupid. He may say here's what he may say, and has said before, that is a dumb butt idea, lady. You're probably not a lady. want a 4x4. You never know though. But it happened to be a lady he was talking to at the time. And he said, that is a dumb butt idea, lady. Oh, I think that was for somebody that was trying to put their kids on their credit cards or something like that to build their credit. And he actually said to the lady, that is a dumb butt idea, lady. So, yeah. What would Dave say? Knowing that I followed the plan this far and would pay the $12K and with the inheritance. No. You don't know. There could be some kind of delay in getting the inheritance. You have no idea. There could be the will could have been changed. Who knows? Any number of things. Why don't you just wait? Gosh. I want it now. Calm down, Veruca Salt. That's all I gotta say. So I'm hearing a lot, Compton's Roof. So I'm hearing a lot saying, go ahead. Yeah, of course, it's Reddit. And 099, I can see the reasoning. Probably a little typo there. But let's balance out the discussion and introduce some risk assessment. That's right. A lot of times you get people analyzing the Ramsey advice and they're like, oh, my numbers don't support that. My numbers don't support that. They do not have a risk button on the calculator to factor that in. So, yeah, why not just wait until September and buy it? You're not 5 years old. Now. All right. That's enough of it. Okay, pay off house with a penalty. Interesting. That'll be fun. Let's see. 1 and 3K is a clunker. Syd says 10K is a 4-year-old cheaper car like a base model Corolla. Alrighty. All right. Every time I go to the chat to get Syd's opinion, that'll be like like having a co-host. Except she's not saying it, I am. She actually did co-host the after show with me one time she was on the phone. And I just put the phone on speaker and the mic picked it up. Fair enough. I don't remember which episode that was. But it was early on, I believe. Okay, so I have a mortgage with about 190K owing on it. I actually have the cash to pay it off. And done. And I actually have the cash to pay it off. But now I'm going to type a bunch of stuff that is my little particular situation. And I think somehow that's going to change the baby steps. It doesn't. Baby steps never change for any of anybody's little situations. Everybody, I know, a lot of times you're too wrapped up, you're too close to the situation where you can't see it really. But if it was somebody else's problem, then you would be able to think clearly about it. But anyway, but a lot of people do think, okay, I'm going to type some stuff now. This will be good. I'm going to type some stuff now that's going to make Dave say, oh, okay. Oh, I'm wrong. Baby steps have been wrong for 35 years. The interest rate on the mortgage is 2.68. Okay, your interest rate on that doesn't mean jack squat to Dave Ramsey. You're not comparing interest rate. You're comparing risk. And you have the paid off home is more satisfying to the risk factor. Let's see. I have money in a savings account paying 4.05. So mathematically, it works out better to collect the difference in the interest. That's not a penalty. That's you calling it a penalty. Because once you pay the house off, then you can invest that money and actually make more than 4.5% on it a year. You can make a 10% average on that in an S&P 500 index fund. That's the historical average. I have the money in a savings account paying 4.05%. So okay. However, I just want the mortgage gone. All right. The problem is I would have to pay approximately $1,800 to break the mortgage in order to pay it off early. Oh, I live in Canada. All right, defect to the United States. And I am only 1 year into a 5-year term, so I can't pay it off penalty free. Oh, Canada sucks for this kind of stuff. For another 4 years, looking for opinions on what you would do. And there's no way to get out of it, I don't think, because if you refinance it, see if you can refinance it into a 1-year term. That would suck to have to pay the closing cost on that, if any. That would suck. But if you refinance it into a year, then you can pay it off that way. That would get it paid off quicker. Let's see if anybody else has any. That's the only thing I could think of, because Canada is crazy, eh? What's that all about? Figured out. Make payments for another 5 years in 1 month. Definitely psychological problem here. What it comes down to, my friend. Yeah. Is your peace of mind worth $1,800? Yeah, that's, so if you owe $190K on it, $1,800 is insignificant compared to $190K. So yeah, just like this person said, pay $1,800 and have peace of mind. If you don't want to do that, then you don't want it paid off bad enough to do that, and then so deal with it. Why would you prioritize paying what is in effect a negative interest rate? If Google wants to buy some property, JP Morgan's going to charge them 7%. I'll get that. Going gets financial logic to pay off a mortgage because one can't handle holding debt is keep one broke. Rich people I know have the most debt. Yeah, see, you get a lot of this stuff on here. People that don't have any interest in following Dave's advice at all. The reason is called financial peace. Exactly. So much of Dave's advice is related to peace, i.e. risk assessment, not the financial best decision. It's more psychological than rational. Exactly. Doesn't need to be much discussion on this. If not having is worth losing several $1,000s, it's $1,800. Let's not chill with the hyperbole. You will stop paying interest when you pay it off, a 5-year loan. That's a good point as well. Oh, $400 to $500 in interest monthly. Yeah, he's right. Maybe not quite that much, or doesn't even matter to me. It's a good name. Yeah, he's right. So you will break even on that very quickly. I did not even think about that. That's great. Your math skills are terrible. That's not how any of this works. Okay. Maybe he was talking about another comment, though. Alrighty. Let's go back. Okay. And like always, I don't remember what time I started. Like 5:30, 5:45, something like that. I meant to say live from Cabot, Arkansas. Did I say that? This is from Porno Guitar. Baby step 2, my line of credit. Many years ago, I was offered a line of credit from my credit union. This was money I could borrow at any time. I think it was $500. I borrowed money at different times when I was either desperate for money or I wanted to buy something I couldn't afford. Checks out. Well, I finally cleared that debt. Excellent. Now my goal is to pay off 2 credit cards, about $7,500. Excellent. Okay. Cool. I thought you were going to talk about trying to keep that. So you close that account. Make sure you close that account. Your emergency fund is your line of credit to yourself. And you don't need that. So you close that account after you pay. You close every account after you pay them off. Excellent. Excelente. Pausing school to focus on mortgage. And baby steps 4, 5, and 6. Okay, baby steps 4, 5, and 6, you do all at the same time. Steps 1, 2, and 3. Beginner emergency fund, start emergency fund, paying off non-mortgage debt, and full emergency fund. Those two you do in order, one at a time. 4, 5, and 6 you do all at the same time in varying percentages. Step 4 is going to be, almost always, it's going to be the 15%. If you're trying to save a down payment, you can lower that or even skip temporarily for a maximum of 3 years. Baby step 4, you can skip investing while you save a larger down payment. Dave is fine with that. 3 years is the maximum he wants you not investing for retirement, though. And of course, 5 depends on how old your children are, and 6, of course, that's 5 is kid college, if you're going to help them, if you have them, and 6 is pay off the mortgage early before putting extra money anywhere else, like additional savings or additional investing. Alrighty, happy I found this thread. Baby step 5 flare right there. Husband and I are on baby step 4, 5, and 6. And yep, so barely you're in all of them. Husband makes $140K, even though you might not have started paying off the putting more on the mortgage. Maybe that's why you consider yourself baby step 5. Yep, I had my not Diet Coke, but Big K Cola zero sugar. Jeez, losing my mind. It's normally $1.20 for a 2-liter. For the past 2 or 3 weeks at Kroger, it's been $1, so I've been stocking up. I am not going to pay $3 for a 2-liter of any fluid. Yeah. Okay, so I own a business that husband makes under 30. Excellent. Husband makes so far ahead of the game, you wouldn't believe it. Husband makes $140K, and I own a business that makes about $100 to $150K. Fabulous, depending on the year. But recently became a mom, so that number ebbs and flows. Sure, with working less and being home more. Right, which is the answer there. It's not to stick the kid in daycare, usually, unless the daycare is an extremely low number, or even a reasonably low number compared to what you can make by working. You have to be able to, the second parent income has to be enough to pay for the daycare, plus be enough to justify you not being home with your children. Alrighty, so that number ebbs and flows, and being home, working less and being home more. We do our monthly budget with a salary for me of $3.5K a month, so that we don't adjust to living a $300K lifestyle. Excellent plan. That's one way to not have that. That's called lifestyle creep, is what that is. You start making more money, and all of a sudden, you have to spend more money. I got to talk about something. Speaking of Richie things, let me write it down so I don't forget. Because Syd thinks I have dementia, so write that down. Teaser on that, and the keyword is Starbucks. Syd, remind me if I don't talk about Starbucks. Because even though I just wrote it down, I may forget. Let's see. Okay, so they do the monthly budget with just money that she earns, $3.5K a month. Great. So that means the husband's $140K. That's all being applied to baby steps, or should be. So we don't adjust to living a $300K lifestyle. Suddenly hit issues, and I decide to stay home full time, etc. That is amazing planning, amazing thinking to plan for the future. We then currently use any excess profits from the business beyond the 3.5 to simply build a savings, nest eggs for various things, but I'm starting to wonder if I should be investing a percentage of that excess. No, the baby steps is you should be doing 15% each, which contrary to what a lot of people think is not 30% of household income. 15% husband, 15% wife equals 15% of household income. You follow me there? And so 15% from each parent invested. that is of gross income, and that should be it. The only thing where, well, I mean, you could if you were close to paying the house off, but probably in your situation, being under 30, there's probably no need to do that. You could probably pay off the house very quickly. Let's see, it doesn't say how much they owe on the house. Let's see. Currently use excess, probably various things. I wonder if should be investing. Not more than 15% each. But 15% each, yes. A maximum of that. My other question is this. We have a 1-year-old, okay, and we decided to do an upfront investment of $10K, and it's $529, and we're going to hold on further monthly contribution to baby step 5. Okay, that's 1-year-old. You should, by the time he's 18, you should have that mortgage paid off, and you can cash flow college probably. But the 10K is a great start, and 17 years in the market should do fabulous things to that 10K. Okay, so I got no problem with the holding. And focus on step 6. Excellent. We have $320K. Okay, there we go. Left on the mortgage. We do plan to have more kids and contribute the 10K each year, but don't know if we should be doing this differently. Continuing to add first college fund. Don't want him to have more than younger siblings just because of time or his time on his side, probably, instead of focusing fully on the mortgage. I'm struggling though. The best place to focus the money for 4, 5, and 6. Okay, well, this is the thing, because you can decide the percentages. It has to be a real short time frame. Like if you could pay the house off in 3 years, which you might be able to do, you could skip investing. Or you could just put in for the match if there's any match. You could just do that and pay off the house early. And so once you've got that house paid off, then I mean, you would have plenty of time to save for the unborn kids so far. Any number of kids you want to have, you would be fine doing that. So that's the dealio on that. But yeah, you can put in the 10K to start. That's fine too. Merry Christmas to that child. You could add some more to it each Christmas time. That's not, add like another 1,000 or something. But yeah, that's still, you should have no problem paying your house off very, very soon, and then it won't be an issue. So, but yeah, the answer to the question is that you can hold off of investing completely, or just do the match, or do the 15. And then go on that. Leave the child you have. Leave him at the 10,000, and let the market work with that. Let interest work with that, although it's not interest. A lot of people call it interest. And pay off that house. You can do it. Been very, very intentional. You've thought about it. You've been addressing the lifestyle creep that could happen. Doing great. Probably in the top 90-95% of people as far as having their stuff together. Prestigious Piano 247. How am I doing? Boom, 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 boom. 4, 5, and 6 are also in order. Yes, they are. They're at the same time, but they are in order as well. I am turning 49 soon and have $590K and a 401K. 40K in a Roth, 75K in trading accounts. You're doing it wrong. I mean, if that's like additional investing, it shouldn't be more than 15% if you're paying off a house still. 20K in crypto, losing 25K already. Yep. Who would have thought, huh? And 100K in cash in 3.75 interest account. Okay. As a rainy day fund. Have 158K mortgage. Beep, beep, boo, doo. and an 8K car payment. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. I mean, 590K, 49, and with 590K in the 401K, 40 in the Roth, 700K. Yeah, I wouldn't try to be a day trader with that. If this is just extra retirement savings or saving up for a purchase or something like that, savings in mutual funds, fine. The crypto, I would get out of. Dave does not advise the crypto. He also, I don't know if you heard about Dave Ramsey, but he doesn't like debt. So the 8K car payment, got 100K in cash in a 375. Well, anyway, regardless, you could even leave that there. Pay off that freaking car payment. Pay is good, and my spouse works as well. Spouse pay is good, and that's savings and investment. My plan is retire in 7 years at this current rate of savings situation. How am I doing? I'll get a pension of $1,500 per month or $300K lump sum. Okay, and I assume that's in addition to having in addition to having the 401K and the Roth as well. So that's fine, except pay your freaking mortgage off. Pay the car payment off today. Pay the freaking mortgage off, dude. And then guess what? If you don't have to make house payments in retirement, then you are way ahead of the game. People always trying to get tricky with it. Get tricky with it. Boom, boom, boom. All right, HSA, health savings account. Question: can anyone tell me definitively if this qualifies for an HSA? I apologize for the poor formatting. You have to have a high deductible. What is the overall deductible? $65,000 single or $13,000 family for network providers. $7,250 single or $1,450 family for non-network. What is the out-of-pocket limit for this plan? It should tell you on that particular plan. It could be anything. Oh, I see what you're saying. Is it going to be the 1450 family? It's either one. It's either one. You have to you would have to hit the 7250 for one person's medical expenses, or 1450 or 14,500 for everybody's expenses. Yeah. Definitive answer, ask HR, but I believe that's how it works there. So it's either or. You can't add. You can't add up everybody's singles. But once it would seem like the 14,500, unless you would be easier to reach, unless you have a bunch of people with issues like where they have to go to a chiropractor once a week or something like that kind of thing. Co-host has gone quiet. Baby step 3, flare. I don't like to talk about my flare. Navigation on. That's better than having navigation off, let me tell you. Sinking funds versus baby step momentum. Yeah, the sinking funds are going to mess with that, certainly, but sometimes sinking funds are necessary if you know an expense is coming up, or you are very sure, like you don't know exactly the moment you'll need new tires, but you will need new tires eventually. Baby step 3B, yes, that is saving for a down payment. It's not in the list, but yet it's there anyway. And that comes after 1, 2, and 3, which is paying off all non-mortgage debt, paying off. Baby step 1 is starter emergency fund of $1,000. Baby step 2 is paying off all non-mortgage debt, and baby step 3 is full emergency fund, and then 3B is saving for down payment for a house. Baby step 3B, finding that budgeting has become harder without the intensity of focusing on debt. After you complete baby step 3, the intensity should go down a little bit. You don't have to be gazelle your whole life. You don't have to do that. A lot of people have trouble doing the switch. There's calls. I'd say a call at least once a week where somebody is having a problem doing that, and that's a good problem to have, because that means you're far enough ahead in the baby steps that you are having that issue. So that means you're already better off financially. But after baby step 3, you're supposed to relax and go out to eat sometimes. I understand if you want to save up for a house, that could affect that. And some people do choose to stay gazelle, to like pretend that they're still paying off debt while they get that down payment together. And I get that, and that's no problem if you choose to do that. Let's see, main issue is sinking funds, right? See the value, but have always just cash flowed expenses as they come up. I've added them to my budget over the past few months, and they're killing my momentum. Putting the same amount aside each month, but making a little progress on my down payment. Well, the problem with that is going to be if multiple expenses come up at the same time and you wouldn't be able to cash flow, like the new tires or whatever. The sinking funds would be for. That's the issue. So you could try doing maybe like half of what you're putting in there now, and apply it to the down payment and see how that works. And while you're seeing how that works, I would even be fine with you if you had to. Generally, you wouldn't like have a sinking fund / down payment fund, but the excess that you would be putting towards the down payment instead of putting in a sinking fund, because they are just both savings after all. So I wouldn't have a problem if you considered just that little bit not cemented in with the down payment. So and that makes you okay either way, because really you're probably gonna. I mean, like if you had a crazy emergency that would wipe off your sinking funds and your full emergency fund, then the next thing would be you would go into that down payment to pay for that crazy emergency. Sinking. I've done a sinking fund every so often, but not as a rule. Like not for general car expenses and that kind of thing. I do just cash flow that. So, yeah, I'd be interested to hear Dave's exact answer to this. But that's what I think on that. Started the baby steps. Excellent. Baby step 2, flare brewed espresso. And that reminds me to do the Starbucks thing. Okay, so, and don't know if this was made up or whatever, but I heard on the way to the store on the radio, the DJ said that a Starbucks barista did a video where she talked about Starbucks is going to, if you ask for a little ice or no ice, they are going to charge you more for that same drink. And the reason because is if they don't put ice in, it takes more of the base product to fill the cup. And so Starbucks trying to secure the bag. And so again, I don't know if that's true. Or if somebody's just wants a lot of hits on a video or something like that. But it wouldn't surprise me if a company did that, especially a company that charges $6 for a cup of coffee. So there's that. And I don't have any problem with them doing that. charge as much as you want, secure the bag all you want. Obviously, some people aren't going to like it. If they don't like it enough where they start brewing their own coffee or going elsewhere for their coffee, then Starbucks might have to adjust if they lose market share to that. So that's the only way to deal with that. But as far as them, you can charge whatever you want to charge. Charge whatever the market will pay for something. I went to law school on my own dime. Excellent. Receive a 75%. Close enough to 100 for that. That's great. Scholarship. Still ended up owing $119,000. My wife, as of March 25th, 2023, has $94,000 in student loan. Okay. So, yeah, you guys got some student loans. $119,000. Hopefully there's a doctor, a lawyer, or something between the two of you. And 75% was paid for, I'm guessing, a private school. 5,000 credit card. You're doing it wrong. 9,800 in her car loan. Congratulations on getting married. I'm a prosecutor. Not gonna make as much as a lawyer, a lawyer for hire. And she is a creative director. Still, we make roughly $180,000 pre-tax with a rent of $2,100. Unfortunately, I have mandatory 7% retirement contribution because working for government that I can't opt out of. Again, that's the thing. Oh, I'm working for the government, a secure job, etc., etc., etc. In private practice, you would probably make a lot more money. Let's see. Unfortunately, I'm a mandatory 7. Can't opt out of. The benefit of that is a statutory 7% interest rate per year and a 225% contribution match when I vest, right? If you stay working there that long, yes. But yeah, and so that's fine. So you remember, and see if you and your wife remember how life was while you were still going to school. Don't live on any more than that. Once the loan grace period ends, I will be paying more in loans than rent. You should be paying them off now. After you pay off the $5,000 credit card and then the $9,800 car loan first, which you should be able to pay that off in short order, making that much money. Once the loan grace period ends, we'll be paying. Okay. We decided enough is enough and want to be debt-free in 3 years. Excellent. Baby step 1 was quick, making bank. Now for the baby step 2 grind. Month 1, paid the car off. Excellent. Even though it wasn't the smallest debt. Well, theoretically, you should have been able to pay both of these off in the first month, even the first 2 weeks, even. Theoretically. Since we have the amount and the monthly payment is more significant than the credit card. Okay, that doesn't matter. It's smallest to largest, but whatever. Yeah, if you pay them off in the same 2 weeks, whatever. Time to start the snowball. Well, you already started it by paying that stuff off, so that's great. But yeah, the rent of $2,100 is bad enough, but that's 2 people with your incomes. You can handle it. Okay, we're still good. I was going to say, because it got dark outside, so I want to make sure I had enough light on me. Obviously, want to see me? Yeah, okay. It's way darker in here than that, so I am surprised. Although there is the balcony door right there on the other side of the camera. Let's see. Time to start snowball. Yeah. So you just have to not let the lifestyle creep happen like the other couple, where they budget on just one income. Just on a small percentage of the wife's income. you guys do that too. Obviously, the 2100 isn't cheap, but don't start spending money like you're fresh out of college and you're making a lot of money, even though you are. So don't do that. Live like broke college students. That's what Dave often says. Live like broke college students and pay it off, and you should be debt free in 3 years. Absolutely. As a prosecutor, you probably can't do like any extra side work either in the law. I would imagine in the law field. Perhaps she could. Perhaps you could do something different. But you probably don't need to. Let's see, 180, 119. She has so 200 and something. No, 3 years you should be fine. 3 years you should be able to pay that without having to take extra job. Even and you can even go out to eat once or twice, maybe, if you're good after the first year. Let's see, investing question. All right, this by Braves fan 17, Hot Lena. All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm on baby step 4. That's investing 15% of your gross income. And was wondering how you guys spread out your investments. Dave talks about growth and income growth, aggressive growth, and international. When you invest, how do you spread out where your money goes? Do you do 25% of your investment budget for each? Yes. Or does one fund get more than others? Just wondering about others' approach to investing. Sorry if this isn't allowed. It is allowed. I will allow it. And apparently Reddit allows it as well, and the moderators of the Dave Ramsey subreddit allow it as well, because it is still here. So that's what Dave calls them. Most everybody today, including the internet, calls these, and I can never remember which one is which, but it doesn't matter because it's all the same. It is, I believe, the aggressive growth is small cap. The growth is mid cap, and the growth in income is, I might have that back mixed up for the last two. But these three, the growth in income, growth, and aggressive growth, are in no particular order: small, mid, and large cap. And then, of course, there's international. So they're more commonly known as those caps. And so it should be 25% each in each category, and that is what Dave recommends. I'm sure people do any number of spreading out. I'm sure people do single stocks, which he doesn't advise either. I'm sure some people do gold. I know they do. He doesn't advise any metals, doesn't advise any bonds. Doesn't advise any commodities. His investment advice is mutual funds and real estate you pay for completely in cash if you want to be a landlord. I do not want to be a landlord. Alrighty, so but yeah, so that's it. It should be 25% in each category. And that's small, mid, large cap, and the international. All right, this from Karim 72 Ron. Need advice? Let's see. Back to Syd. Syd has several sinking funds, but car repair almost always comes out of emergency for Syd and her husband. He could probably do the free state provided defense lawyer depending on state regulations. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good, where they say if you cannot afford one, you will be appointed one by the court. I don't know if it could be it could be different state by state, but they may consider that a prosecutor being a defense lawyer. Doing both at the same time, they could figure out some kind of conflict of interest, even though it's not on the same case. Obviously, you don't want to be, running back and forth between the desks and arguing both sides of it. You don't want to do that. But yeah, that's a great idea, Syd. Cool. I have 80K cash and live in Colorado. I wonder if he could start a YouTube channel and give free lawyer advice. I wonder if any people are doing that and making making bank from YouTube on that. Probably not. They'd probably make more just doing private practice stuff. And of course, the state law may be that you can't, as a prosecutor, you can't be doing any type of private work. Maybe. Probably just depends on the state. All right, so need advice. Have 80K cash and live in Colorado, state tax state. Okay, most of them are. I won't need it in the next 6 months or a year. What are my options? I would like to see some real numbers as profit. Thanks. Okay, so 6 months, you're not going to make that much. Let's see what we got here. Let's check bankrate.com. Let's go to high yield savings. And some of them, it depends. You have to have a certain amount of... you have to read the fine print on these, but this has minimum balance of $1 to get that annual percentage rate. So it's going to be 4%. And that's per year. That's a year. That's if you leave it a year. If you leave it 6 months, so then it would be 2% a year, which would be, I don't know, I was going to get the calculator out. I don't even need to do that. Let's see. 80K times 2% is $160. Is that right? Now I'm wondering. Let me do that. You guys can't see the calculator because I think I'm capturing the window only, not the display. Just make sure I'm right, because again, Syd is of the opinion I have dementia. Oh no, that's $1,600. Okay, so my bad. So that's still, I mean, $1,600. So that's all it's going to be. If there's any possible way, if there's any possible way, you might need that money. And of course, you should not be saving it up while you're not paying off debt or not. It can't be your emergency fund unless you have, in that particular account, you have full access to it at any time. Has to be liquid. Or if you have a mortgage and no other debt, and you're in step 6, which is pay off the mortgage as fast as possible, that doesn't allow for doing that. If that's some kind of sinking fund, okay. But it's not going to be that much. It's going to be $1,600. So that's going to be most of your real numbers. Now, it's possible you could put it in the market and the market shoot way up, but 6 months isn't long enough to play the market like that. So you need 5 years to save for a purchase, per the advice of one Mr. David Ramsey. I assume his actual name is Ramsey. Let's see what this person said. In the same boat, prestigious piano. We read a question by that person, or another comment earlier. My wife and I have cash in the Amex savings account with 3.75, and we don't want to lock our money in CD for 10 months, like $150K in cash. This is our savings raining day emergency fund. It's rainy. We do have $8K in car payment. No, you're doing it wrong. 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 Okay. And 158K mortgage. Yeah. You don't have stacks of cash unless it's like a sinking fund that you know you have an expense of, and it's not that. Emergency fund needs to be liquid, needs to be separate from any other savings, at least in your mind. So you're doing it wrong, prestigious piano. And here I read your comment because I thought you were following Dave's advice completely. I was wrong. Well, I'll make mistakes. Syd laughed at something. Probably me having dementia. This from perfectly coiffed. That means coif is your hair. So that means like if you're coiffed, you have your hair did well. cut well, that kind of thing. Best side hustles aside from ride sharing, food delivery. Now the beauty of those are that there's several cons, but the beauty of those are that you can do it when you want to. You can like if it's the equivalent of being a taxi and you put the off-duty sign on all the time, and then when you want to pick somebody up, then you put on the on-duty sign. So you can do that anytime. So that's the best thing about that. And it can be, depending on the area, depending on several factors, it can be lucrative. Hey, I'm not new to the Ramsey plant, but there's several, car wear and tear, gas, blah, 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 blah. There's plenty of cons as well. New to Ramsey plant, but so fed up and ready to do a side hustle and knock this crap off my collections. Okay, collections should be paid off after. There we go. Sorry, I had to adjust. Collections should be paid off. Any debt that is still in good standing, current debt. If they're already in collections, those should be put off to the end, unless maybe they call you or you have an X number of money, if you owe $5,000 to them. And you can save up $1,000 pretty quickly, other than your starter emergency fund, and call them and see if they will settle for $1,000 on the $5,000 debt. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. If they won't do that, you can say, okay, I'll call somebody else that I have in collections then. Okay, see ya. So you could do that, but otherwise you wait till you have all your current debt paid off first before you do collections. What are some that wasn't the question there. What are some genuinely good side hustles you could swing while working full time and clear several extra $100 a week? This question is in the chat so much. Dave gets to ask it on the show quite a bit as well. But this is all somebody wants you to tell them what good side hustles are, and it's not going to be the same for every person. Like I don't particularly like driving, and especially driving when you have a time limit, etc. That kind of thing, time limit, and stuff could go wrong. The food could be cold by the time it gets there. It could be the wrong item, and it not be your fault. So. Let's see, even though you're supposed to check it, I guess, when you pick it up from the restaurant. Let's see, anecdotes are welcome. Anecdotes are like small stories. I'm curious. I just want to know what's worked for other people. Any side hustles you've tried and succeeded in. I'm so sick of Google searching. I don't want to do it anymore. I want somebody to just tell me. And seeing stuff like donate blood, online surveys, or weird scammy crap. I don't have a newer car / drive a cash car, right? So I disqualify for rideshare and don't want to spend dollars to rent a car to do Uber. Yeah, you would likely not, if you're renting a car, you likely wouldn't make money. Anyway, so depending on the area now, you could be in an area that is short Uber drivers, and you may. So that's the only reason I'm looking to hear those ones. Must be from the state up north or somewhere around there. Actually, in Ohio, we had people saying those ones a lot as well. You don't need the ones. I'm not looking to hear those, period. You don't need the ones after it. Let's see what some people's advice is. What have I done? I worked 4 hours a day. Before I went to my computer repair job, I worked at Menards, which is a big hardware store like Lowe's or Home Depot. I did that, and also from that, I was able to work more than the 20 hours scheduled because they always needed extra help as well. So that worked out like that, and I was always on the clock for those times, so it didn't matter how fast I got somewhere or whether the customer was happy with it or anything like that. So working for somebody else, you don't have to start your own business for it to be a side hustle. So let's see, I've done that. And of course the Ramsey coaching thing. Let's see, festivals are great, food, gifts, jewelry, music, lots of for vendors to offer. They have fun. Can get you several hundred of thousands of profits. Oh, I can see. Like if you put stuff on Etsy, if you make stuff, that kind of thing. I see. And of course Etsy, selling stuff on eBay. Bought a cheap old 97 Nissan and do DoorDash. They don't have restrictions like Uber or Lyft. Yep. Donating plasma. The person did say don't want to hear about donating blood. So this person got around that. I see what they did there. You can donate bone marrow too. More pain, but pays more. Reselling thrift store and garage sale items. Yes, this does happen. You go to the thrift store, you go to the garage sale, and you see a freaking unopened Luke Skywalker action figure from 1977, and they have $5 on it. You scoop that up, and you put that on the eBay for thousands of dollars. Probably not thousands, hundreds though, probably. Let's see, if Gig Pro is in your area, it can be a great option because you only apply to the gigs you like and can make your own schedule, okay? Gig Pro, never heard of it. Tried it a while back, made about $25 per hour. Yeah, plus being a bellman at a local resort. Had zero experience, but it doesn't take much to open doors for people and bring them their luggage. You're right, excellent. Johnny Koenig. Call him Johnny Hustle instead. Totes Amaze. Providing care for the intellectually disabled, maybe. Sometimes they just want someone to go do the mail or normal community things with someone. Okay, who isn't mom or dad? Sure. Demand is unreal. All right, yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that, but sure. Generally set your own schedule and the pay isn't bad. Okay. Yeah, certifications for that might be. Every state is different, sure. Tutoring, $30 an hour, bring home $500 to $600 a month. I should do that. If people need help spelling things that you should be able to spell after the 3rd grade, sure, I could do that. That's amazing. What subjects do you tutor? I'm great with English and grammar. My math is basic. So basic. You don't get money for donating blood, but you can get it for donating plasma. Okay. $400 to $500 a month for plasma. Oh, okay. Person just looked at it. So there's a new part-time job for Hank Hippopoulos. Not healthy enough either. Yep. Yeah, they don't want my blood for sure with the beatus. Daughter supported family of 4. Living on their own, 30 hours a week at Domino's. Tips were really good. They own their own mobile home. Dave doesn't recommend mobile homes. And 2 cars all paid with cash. That is excellent, though. Those tips were good. Yeah, a lot of people when they think side hustle, they think they have to do it themselves. They think that they have to have their own business. Yeah, I'm still lighted really well for it. It is amazingly dark in the room. What up, Aislinn? Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, I missed a lot of stuff from my co-host, Syd. You can probably do... Oh, Syd just left until she got the sign-on bonus. Wasn't worth it where she is in the state down south in the bayou. Hello everyone, Aislinn said. Yeah, I'm surprised there's 2 people in the chat even. I appreciate it though, Island. Thank you so much. And of course, appreciate it, Syd, because I did not announce this ahead of time. It was just a spur of the moment thing. Since that if OP is female, in this one egg donation pays very well. Oh, interesting. And Aislinn did that in university. And in the United States here, we call that college. And we don't have U's in the word color. Thank goodness so many people are poor at math. Yep. Syd thinks side hustle, small business is how it's more conventionally used. Side hustle equals small business, yeah. Yeah. But you don't have to do that, especially, if you work for somebody else, they already have everything set up. You're not responsible for anything except showing up and doing the work. You don't have to worry about anything else. Let's see, QuickBooks Online certification. Great idea. Lots of those skills are ones maybe that you can freelance with easily. Work from home on your own schedule, sure. Part-time job as a dishwasher or in an assistant living facility. Yeah, somewhere where you can just go and do what they want you to do, and they will give you money for it, and you don't have to think of an idea or worry about doing the numbers and making sure it's profitable and all that. Cleaning. Oh, notary. Cleaning business. Learn options trading. That's going to be a negative, good buddy, for Michi the cleaner. That's going to be a negative per Dave Ramsey's advice. Delivering pizza or Chinese food. The type of food doesn't matter. LOL. Well, that is definitely Ramsey advice. You become a mystery shopper. Sex work retail. Yep, all of those are good except the options trading. All right, that's way too much stuff. I didn't know it was going to be that many. That's a lot of 84 comments. Okay. Could have done a whole show just on those comments. Anyone notice Dave? Okay, and this is the thing that could get kind of maybe negative seeming, but they do let you post just about anything on here. You can have your negative opinions about Dave on this subreddit. So he's been on air with codes this week as normal, but has anyone thought he's been off this week as in not himself? I get it, he's getting old. No, people see what they want to see. People even like watch the show, and like it wouldn't be a week that went by where people wouldn't say, "Hey, I look sad." And like they would know, they would no sooner type that out than he would start laughing about something. So especially when he was on with Deloney, those two were a good combo. So I think that's just what, and of course Darth Burger, decent name, but people just want to make drama, and and they want to try to call it. Like, I called it, dude. I knew that something was going. Why bother with that? What he has said is he's gonna work there until he can't do it anymore. So until they force him out, put him in a home or something. So and I believe it. Well, I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you go having helped that many people? I mean, I can see it in the limited amount that I do, where you give them some advice, and obviously it's not my advice, and Dave often says it's not his advice either. It's grandma's and God's, from the Bible. A bunch of the baby steps are backed up by biblical verses. But the good thing about that is you don't have to believe in anything except Dave Ramsey's advice that is a good idea. I got off track. So, but and it still work no matter what you believe in. So it's not required that you believe in God in order for the baby steps to work to you. They will work anyway as long as you follow the baby steps and not just pick and choose. A lot of people like to pick and choose from them and do it their way, etc., etc. But that doesn't work. TSP and the 4 types of funds. In the TSP, I see G, C, S, and I. Question is, which funds qualify as growth? Okay. His advice there, I'm sure somebody's got it down in there. I'm trying to remember what it is. I think it's 75 in S and 25% in I, maybe? Or no, it's bigger than that. I can't remember. Dave has a thing for that. Let's see. There's from the TSP. Then this is not going to tell you what Dave's advice is on it. Let's see. Somebody. Yeah, there we go. 80% C, 20% I. Yes, that is exactly it. Thank you, Brian McG321. I knew it was something like that. Yep. I is hot garbage. I believe Dave still says that though. Yeah, C is S&P 500 index fund, and S is a small cap, and the F. And the I international. It is something like that. Dave suggests 80% in C, 10% in each. Oh, 80 and 10 and 10. Okay. All right. Oh, and it's right there. Look at that. Link right there for you. So, okay. So that's the exact answer, and I'm glad I kept looking when people started saying different things. So there you go. Dave has addressed it. Manual underwriting in Canada. This is a thing. There's a bunch of people in the Ramsey Show chat that live in other countries, and unfortunately, there's no like Ramsey equivalent there that they know of. Apparently, so it's always, how does it apply to me? And in general, the basic tenets of it work in any country. What's going to be different in countries is going to be the names and types of investment accounts and different taxes. But yeah, I don't think they have manual underwriting in Canada is what I think is the dealio. Consider giving up a credit card, but I'm not sure about manual underwriting in Canada. And what are pros and cons for taking a mortgage in the future? Has anyone experienced with this? Let's see what somebody says. I googled manual underwriting in Canada. That's about all I can. Many hits pointing back to here as possible. It's still being done, but none of the respondents I've seen it recently. Okay, it is not as easy for banks to do the manual underwriting. So even in the USA, greatly limit your options. False. And is likely to increase your rate by at least a small degree. Yeah, probably. Needs to get with the picture and advise people to get a card or two just for gas and Netflix, and another one here as mentioned. No, dummy. No. And the reason for that is a lot of people can't handle that. A lot of people can't handle it. A lot of people would get the card or two just for gas and Netflix and other expenses that they buy anyway, but then they would buy something else on it. And then they would buy something else on it, and then something else on it, and then something else on it. Having no credit score in 2023 is needlessly hurting oneself. Now, if you're buying a house, you can handle a little bit more interest. If you're buying a house under his guidelines, you can handle it. So let's see. George discussing no manual underwriting mortgage in Canada, and that a credit score is needed. He didn't elaborate too much beyond that. Right. So yeah, people have talked about it in the chat, and so they are trying to do their, if you don't already have a credit history, manual underwriting might be your best bet in obtaining a mortgage in the near future. If you do already, you would have to go through quite a bit, potentially much greater time and expense. No, that's false. That's false. I know somebody that did have a credit score and bought a house using manual underwriting in the America, not in the Canada. And so if you don't want to deal with that, defect to the United States is what I suggest. Leaning over to read the TV. Aislinn thinks of that as well. Am I pronouncing that correct? Is it Aislinn? Correctly? That's what I think of a side hustle as a small business. Dave seemed to be doing well to her the past week. Yeah, people just want to, drum up things, or they try to read too much into it. I would like them to spend some time on the type of things, on life type of things in the show. The happiness part I seem to have down pretty well, okay? But I'm struggling with the meaning purpose part. All right. Oh, Aislinn. Okay. Oh, you got a silent I there. Cool. Struggling with the meaning purpose. Well, you focus on the baby steps. That can give some people purpose, but yeah, you have to have a reason to keep waking up for yourself. You have to find that for yourself. Whatever that is, whatever you enjoy doing, it can be some of that. It could be whatever company you like to keep, friends, family, that kind of thing. Let's see. Pay it off now. And they asked if they should pay it off now. Interesting. Made the account just to ask this question maybe. Or if that's was for baby step 2 and then now they're here. We'll see. Hi, created this account to post this long question. And they can disclose too much financial information. Okay, the problem is none of this crap means anything. None of this means anything. I'm gonna skim through it to make sure it doesn't change the baby steps. But so many people think that their little individual situation does change the baby steps. It doesn't. But see, I should read it before I say this stuff. But I think our little situation, they didn't put little in there though, is a bit different and would appreciate some advice. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what outlandish stuff they have. We own our house outright, no mortgage at all. Then, all right. We also co-own with my in-laws. Okay. A vacation property that we use very frequently, no mortgage there either. Oh, however, we also own. Okay. We got the Rockefellers there with their real estate owning. Had to fix the chair again. Also own a condo in Chicago that is a fixed rate loan at 3%. Okay, so if you were following the baby steps previously on Pay It Off Now's life, if you were following the baby steps previously, you would not have gotten rental property on a mortgage. You don't do that. You buy rental property in cash. If you had this before, okay, fine. Probably, if Chicago is not where you live, probably you sell that and get out of that. So let's see, we're 5 years in a loan, so we still have 10 years to go. Not if you pay it off before 10 years. This is our only debt. Okay, as we be very careful with our finance throughout the years, except they could have lived in the Chicago condo and then moved maybe. But yeah, I mean, how else would you buy it? Yeah, maybe they did that. So I mean, that's kind of I can see that, but that's still, you don't automatically become a landlord just because you are moving. Let's see, also around 5K in a payment plan. Boop, 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 doo. At 0% for 36. The percentage doesn't matter. The funds get automatically debited from our account every month. You can still probably pay it off with no penalty, so do that. Yeah, we do not live in Chicago anymore, exactly. So managing the place is a bit of a hassle, yeah. Is it worth what you're making on it from the tenant? I keep telling my wife, okay, that's, you got two people there. Maybe the wife doesn't want to sell it. She wants to be a landlord. However, she keeps telling me to hold it one more year. Okay. And that's something you got to work out between the two of you. We have a too large emergency fund, doing it wrong. About 18 months of living expenses and a savings account. I know this is dumb, but I have some reason that would distract from the main issue in this post. I assure you that none of those reasons, outside of some kind of crazy illness situation or something like that, none of those reasons are going to justify that, having that, and then also having any type of debt. Your little 5,000 whatever thing, and what it? Oh yeah, 5,000 in a payment plan for what? I wonder. Let's see. That's dumb, but I have some reasons, and they're probably dumb reasons, probably. So yeah, that only you think justify it. Pulling in the justification station. All aboard. Anyway, so my question is, should I sell some investments and use the no, especially if they're in a retirement account. You don't pull from retirement accounts unless it's to avoid bankruptcy or foreclosure. And use the too large emergency fund to completely pay the mortgage. I would use the too large emergency fund today, except for 6 months of your personal expenses. Again, unless you have some crazy reason. I mean, there could be some crazy need for a sinking fund. Like if there's been a recent serious illness diagnosis, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I'm interested to hear what that reason is, but people have not said anything yet. There was a good reason that wasn't a serious illness. As you can tell, I value opportunity cost a lot. So I take advantage of free or cheap money as much as I can. Okay, overthinking it. Therefore, I struggle with the idea of paying a cheap mortgage off and its interest rate is fixed and not even keeping up with inflation. Okay, well, to that, you have to go back to you wanted to sell it anyway. So your wife doesn't want to. Maybe you're trying to help her justify that. But yeah, I'm sure people will be fine in the chat there with the 4 comments, thinking that you're fine. So the condo, maybe not. First, I would calculate what's better, paying off your mortgage, or after tax, risky money market after tax. And see, that's the problem. See, once you pay that mortgage off, see, a lot of people don't include that in the equation, where if you pay that off, you're not paying that interest anymore on that mortgage, and so you have to subtract that from what you're getting elsewhere. Let's see, so people do incomplete math all the time. Yeah, so probably pay the mortgage off. Yes, probably sell the condo and pay the mortgage off. If not, hit the two, pay off as much as you can and then make that a priority to do. And when I say pay off as much as you can, that means right now, clear that $5,000 debt first. But then you would take the too large emergency fund, back that bad boy down to 6 months, and then put that on the Chicago condo and pay that off as soon as possible. You got to get the wife to agree to that. Got to be on the same page with that. The Rockefellers probably think everyone owns 3 properties. They probably do. Wonder if anybody named Rockefeller has ever been in a McDonald's ever. Let's see. Chikondo was right there. I don't know which one Chikondo was. This is what would Dave do? Flair WWDD. How much to keep on you? Debit account needs R there. Cindy V 92. Hopefully just a typo. I recently had an emergency fund with my cat. Had an emergency, not fund. Had an emergency with my cat. 5.5K was needed to do surgery. The same night we figured out something was off with her. Now I'm not going to say the cat doesn't know your name. Maybe the cat does know your name. We have our emergency savings and high yield savings account, which usually takes like 3 days to transfer funds, which is why you should not have your emergency fund in a high yield savings account that takes 3 days to transfer funds. You need immediate access to your emergency fund. We also do have a credit card. Boop, boop, boo, doo. This is the Dave Ramsey subreddit, not the We're Doing It Our Own Way subreddit. And we used that to charge the surgery. Of course you did. And we just transferred the extra money we needed from the high yield savings account. Okay. I see. So they just use the credit card for temporarily and they pay it off. Theoretically, you pay it off in the month and you don't get charged any interest. And people don't consider that debt. It is. The second you use it as debt. But if one is a purist Ramsey follower, see, you know the answer already. Cindy, you know the answer already. Should I have an entire emergency fund on a debit account? Yes. I mean, it can still be in a high yield savings account, but you have to have immediate access to it. I'm sure one exists where you can have a debit card on it, or check writing privileges on it. Or am I supposed to use a bank savings account with 0.001% interest? That might be an exaggeration. People often do an exaggeration to do that. Do you follow this point of Dave's philosophy? Generally, you want to follow all the points of Dave's philosophy, I would think, especially if you're bothering to go on the Dave Ramsey subreddit. And not that I'm doing it my own way. Subreddit, let's see. So what was the question? Oh, okay. So how much to keep there? Okay. So the point isn't the cat or the $5,500 spent on the cat. We'll figure that's what the person decided to do. So we won't go into that at all. And it sounds like it's not a situation like George Camel's horse call, where the providing for the horse, providing medical care and care in general, housing, etc., for the horse was a big portion of the caller's income. And so we'll say that like none of that exists, and it's just a matter of how to do the emergency fund. You have to have immediate access to it. You're not supposed to get a credit card ever for anything ever again. That's baby step 0. No debt ever and ever again. And again, people don't call it debt, but as soon as you swiped it or as soon as you use it online, it's debt until you pay it off. And so playing footsie with the bank is not advised by Dave Ramsey. 79 comments. Not going to go through those at all because I'm sure you'll have both sides. I'm sure you'll have basically what I said on there, as well as no, you can get a credit card. It's okay to have one credit card. It's okay to have 2. Get 5 credit cards. It's fine. Don't follow Dave Ramsey's advice at all. You get the whole gambit on that. Only debt is auto loan? Question mark. I don't know. I didn't look at your financial situation yet. According to Dave Ramsey's principles, should I be making more than the minimum monthly payment on my car loan? Probably. Due to buying a new car in late 2019, boop, 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 when long-term interest rates were considerably lower, my API equals 2.9%. Remaining loan balance is less than $4,000. The answer is yes, you pay it off ASAP. Baby step 2, pay off any debt, smallest to largest, as soon as possible, not over the term of the particular loan. You pay it off today if you have $4,000. If you have a full emergency fund, you take that emergency fund down to $1,000 and you pay the freaking car off, or put that on the car. And then you should be able to pay the car off next month, then, theoretically. Depending on size of current emergency fund, how much you make, etc., etc. But yeah. So the only debt is the auto loan is correct. And not a question, but the question was, should I pay more on it? And yes, you should pay it off. Not just more on it. You should get that thing gone as soon as possible. And then rebuild full emergency fund if applicable. All right. I bet I've gone over an hour, but it's fun for me. Chicago plus condo. Okay, equals Chicondo. Gotcha. Aslan. So I've been pronouncing it wrong in my head the whole time, so I'm trying to adjust there. Says that is good advice. Make sure you both agree with the action you take. Yeah, absolutely. That's first. Obviously, there's Dave Ramsey's advice, but Dave Ramsey doesn't have to live with either one of you. So, couples have to work it out. Work it out, as they say in Canada, where there's no manual underwriting. So also fairly possible. Can I pay you Monday would work? Oh yeah, true. Good point. Because it is like a vet, and generally they're not gonna send Tony Soprano after you if you don't pay that day. So yep, Sid's right on that. As I said, if you have pets, you might want to pad your emergency fund for a bit of pet emergencies. They can be expensive. That's true. Something to consider, obviously. Michi the Cleaner. We've seen some comments by Michi the Cleaner. See if there's anyone in baby step 6 or baby step 7. Okay, so I will be completed with baby step 2 by the end of September. This is one of the weird ones for me, because based on previously on Michi the Cleaner, there was non-baby steps adherence, non-Dave advice adherence. Maybe just the Dave general advice, not particularly the baby steps. But there was something that was a little bit non-Dave. So I find it interesting that somebody would realize, and maybe they don't even realize they're not doing it correctly. But if they realize they're doing it incorrectly, maybe they don't have anything else to do, and which is why I'm reading these. So don't have anything better to do, and because of course this is fun for me, so maybe this is fun for Michi. But to be worried about anything regarding the baby steps if you're not following them correctly is just weird to me. Okay, so I will be completed with baby step 2 by the end of September. Excellent, and still excellent no matter what else you're doing. And I have the fortunate situation of having baby step 3, baby step 4, and baby step 5 already taken care of. You're doing it wrong. Doing it wrong. See, this is what I'm saying. Doing it wrong. Okay. Get past that. I haven't touched tax return, bonuses, been working military. Okay, that's great. It's all been going into view. You're doing it wrong since then, and I will not use them for any assistance with debt payoff at all. My question is, did you take a break before jumping into paying down your mortgage, or did you take some to relax? Whatever choice you decided, do you regret it? Okay, guess what? You already took your break doing it your way instead of following the baby steps. Since you did baby step 3, 4, and 5 before baby step 2, you're doing it your way, and so that already was your break. So you don't get any additional break. Let's see if anybody tells him he's doing it wrong. Baby step 7, took a different route. Of course, slow down. Baby step 6. let's see. I was just saying if somebody was going to tell me he was doing it wrong. Nobody's focusing on that. Let's see what this one's at. I think I'm at baby step 6, but it could be baby step 2 because I have debt still, depending on how you take it. Let's see. Baby step 1, 3, 4. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, people. We had a person in the chat. Granted, chat gets lots of trolls. You never know what's true. But assuming that it is true, need a little drink. Assuming that it was true, the person was trying to do all 6 baby steps at the same time. And of course, there's 7, but you don't really count the 7 because you're not just building wealth and giving until you complete all the rest. So, but I was trying to do everything, and this is close. This is close to it. Except the there's the investing. Yeah, so if baby step 1, 3, 4, and 5 are taken care of and baby step 2 is not, guess what? You're on baby step 2. It's not depending on how you take it. Only have mortgage debt, but part of that is second mortgage to pay for a new roof last year, like a HELOC, okay? And so, yeah, that should be, if you can pay it off in, I think it's 2 or 3 years, something like that. If you can pay it off in 2 or 3 years, it should be baby step 2. Or if it's like you're less than your annual income. I forget the exact rule on that Dave has. As far as the second part of your question, I have a mortgage on 3%, doesn't matter. And taking a mortgage under 4%. Interest rates don't matter. So, yeah, we backed off a little and are getting back to enjoying more of life. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Sure, we could slam out the second mortgage faster. Sure, you can. And some people that don't feel like they're doing enough, they can do that. And some people go gazelle all the way until paying the house off. Yeah, you don't have to. Why would you have any regrets for paying off your house? And like Dave says, try it. Pay everything off and have no payments to anybody ever. Have no debt to anybody ever. Have a paid off home. And if you don't like it, you can get a HELOC on it. And take out as much of a line of credit as you want. So you don't have to stay debt free if you don't want to be. Absolutely. But at least try it. A lot of people get it when he asks them, if you had a paid-for house, would you take out a mortgage on it to do whatever else you would do with the money? Leave it in the bank as emergency fund, invest it, etc., etc. Would you do that? And most people say no. And it's the same thing if you don't pay the house off and you're using the money for that. And so there's been a couple of people, of course, that said, yeah, they would still do that. And Dave is like, well, I don't know what to tell you then, because that's what you're already doing. So that's apparently what you want to do. That's not the advice, but that's what you want to do. So yeah, you're doing it wrong. I can't help myself. You're doing it wrong. Whoops. Oh, I'm not signed in. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. Lucky Michi doesn't get the diss. And probably, not that many people see this, so no harm, no foul. Liberty 340. And it's not his real name, obviously. Hopefully Michi's an interesting name. I wonder what country that would come from. Let's see. Okay, nobody typed anything. Took me that long to figure out. Panicking. Got hit by a car while on my e-scooter 3 weeks ago. Okay, I figured while I recovered, I would look for another job because my current job is extremely toxic and pays basically minimum wage. Okay. If you weren't going to be working anyway. Excuse me. If you weren't going to be working anyway, that's fine. But if you don't, need to take the time off and change jobs, don't look for a job while you're still working. But certainly, if you would be home anyway, that's a great opportunity to spend a lot more time looking for a new job. After 3 weeks of searching, I found nothing. That's donut. We're starting to run out of savings, and I'm starting to freak out. They freak out because I do not want to go back to my job. Okay, well, you got to work to live, or you got to have money to live, or you'll starve. That's from a movie called Strange Brew, a Bob and Doug McKenzie movie, played by Dave Thomas and Rick Moranis, based on their SCTV characters. I don't have a car, which is a Canada version where they don't have manual underwriting. It was a Canada version of Saturday Night Live, Mad TV, that kind of thing. Freak out because I don't want to go back to my job. Okay, my scooter is unrideable, and I bruised my knee in the accident. Do you get insurance on scooters like that? I don't know. So pretty limited options. I want to support my family and move forward. We were /are still on baby step 1 because minimum wage for a family is 4 is super tight. But it seems like no matter where I look, there's nothing. What can I do? You can go back to your toxic job until you find another one. Now, this word gets thrown around a lot. And simply you not liking the job and not wanting to be there anymore doesn't automatically make it toxic. Okay? Some people today, especially the kids, teach them well and let them lead the way. No, I'm not trying to be ageist here, but I mean, it's all they know from the tic-tac, as Dave says, from the TikTok and the Instagram, the social media, etc., etc. People on there are prone to hyperbole because it generally gets more clicks. But anyway, that's a side tangent. But you got to take it with a grain of salt when somebody on a forum or that you have limited interaction with it says something is toxic. So it may be, I don't know. I'll just say that, I don't know. It may be toxic. There may be toxic things, but toxic doesn't mean you just don't feel like doing the job anymore, or you just don't want to see Linda in accounting anymore. That's not toxic. Okay, there has to be stuff. And basically that it plays minimum wage. If that's all you can get, that's what you got to work. That's what you got to do. After 3 weeks of searching, finding nothing, I understand you may have limited options because of medical reasons. I would check with the city perhaps. Maybe you can ask your doctor, or if you have a physical therapist or something like that, if they know of any groups like through the city, or even some other type of group that would be able to set you up, or at least suggest some other kind of job that you actually could do. And so you could look into that if you are having medical issues. But otherwise, and then like fast food or something like that, you got to be able to move fairly quickly and stand up a long time. Sure. So, I mean, if you're hurt, you can't do that right now, but, and I don't know the situation, so I'll try not to assume, but this can't be a situation where you're being too picky. And so I'll leave it at that. And just because you don't want to anymore doesn't make it so funny. People have been asking questions like this ever since I started listening to Dave's show, and absolutely in the chat. for like 4 years or so before the pandy crash. People were talking about, oh, it's going to correct, it's going to correct, it's going to correct. And it never did until the pandy crash. And so real estate market is not going to crash. It may go down a little bit. And this is Dave's prediction. And he's been in real estate much longer than I have been in, which is zero amount. But I have no reason to think otherwise. But it's because right now it's still a situation where there's more demand. And as long as there's demand, the price is going to stay up. And so there's not going to be a crash. This is just the new normal, and people don't want to admit it. So prices, especially in some areas, prices may go down quite a bit. But LOL, any crash would be a buying opportunity for those who wants to know debt. Exactly. That's what he is not at risk to lose anything because he still has all those. He still has all that real estate, and it's all paid for with cash. Yeah, so he's not going to lose anything. Matter of fact, he would, in the event of a crash, he would probably buy more. He would probably find more good deals. He did say a while back that because of the prices, he hasn't really been buying stuff lately. He's also been building a new event center and so forth. And such, so that may be part of that. But he said he hadn't been buying in a while because of the prices. That has been a few months since he said that though, so he may have bought it again. So I'm only 2 hours yet, probably. Yesterday I made the debt free. It says excellent. This is from Upgrading Your Mind. All right, always a good thing, especially if you can get that upgrade for free, like Windows 11. If you already have Windows 10. Yesterday, I made my final payment. $52K, paid off in 28 months. Excellent. I paid off my smallest debt first, and used that payment towards my next debt and so on. How about that? I wonder where she got the idea to do that. Or he. That sounds a lot like Dave's advice to the T. Let's see. I kept being motivated by listening to Dave Ramsey and other money personalities. All right. Most of the other money personalities are going to be okay with some kind of debt, mostly. And investing before paying the house off. Let's see. I use big bright charts on the fridge that I crossed off weekly. Those are fun. Set up large automatic payment to pay off debt and kept my expenses as small as possible. You got this. This feels absolutely amazing. Totes amazed to be on this side. Come join me. That's excellent. This is an excellent post. And that is a good one to end on, I guess. Let's do the... pause. Whoops. Come on. All right, let's do the plugs. Again, I'm Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach, and you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment with me at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. If you have one question you'd like to ask, you can just email me. Email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, like Oak Island, or the Ramsey stuff, obviously. CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Channel donations go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money, and the YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. And again, that link is right there where it says on my home page, my start page for my channel. It says schedule free consultation. And you can do that right there easily. Let's see if we got any last words from Syd and Ais. Had to think about it. As in, some people like the security of a lot of money in the bank versus paying off the house. I understand it to some extent. Yeah, you can get trapped in that way of thinking. You can. But if it's just a situation of, if it's not, if you do answer that question that Dave asks, if you had a paid off house, would you get a mortgage on it so you could put money in the bank? And if you say no to that, then if you're going to be honest with yourself, if you're going to be true to what you really think, you should just go ahead and pay it off. Let's see. Lots of people did really well buying during the GFC. Remind me what that is while we wait seconds for the time delay. Let's see, what else do I have? Oh, a reminder, you can go to my actually the music playlist should be there on the main page. Again, I did the Ramsey Show After Show. There are 346 on here because I used to do that daily. Video gaming, some computer stuff. I used to be a computer tech. Yeah, the music playlist right here. I do have Ramsey specific songs, including the Baby Step song, John Deloney song, and which John Deloney reacted to, and then I reacted to his reaction. It was a fun time. And the Rachel Cruz song, and I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz. You know, I figured everybody else is taking parts of Elton John's song to make new songs and pretending like it's a new song. I figured I would do it too. Let's see. Oh, the global financial crisis. I don't know what, 2008. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Let's see, 2008. I was already, yeah, I probably don't remember it because I was already debt free. I wasn't quite as much into Ramsey as I am now. I bought the book and I followed the steps. But I certainly wasn't doing any coaching at that point. And that was before I started watching it on YouTube every day. I still listen to it sometimes. So yeah, that's why it's because it didn't affect me, I guess. And I wasn't answering people's questions about being worried about it, that kind of thing. But I didn't have any problems during that. But yeah, I mean, when there's some kind of financial thing like that, you know, whatever market crashes is going to be on sale. So that's just the way it goes. And why not? A little bonus coverage here. Let's look at the S&P. Let's do 5 years. So it's still up from 5 years ago, and it's higher than it was 5 years ago. So you see right there. Is this the 2008? Oh no, that's 2019. Let's see, 2008. Yeah, there's your 2008, I guess, right there. There's your drop right there. That doesn't look like much now that we're way up there, but yeah. So I can see that. Was I investing at that time? I don't think so either. I wasn't investing either yet. But okay, to go back to that view of it. Okay, so it had a little dip in 2019, at the start of 2019, and then here's the pandy crash. Market went down 30%. Came back extremely quickly and onto a new high, and then the overall high was New Year's Eve 2021, and we've been trying to get back up to that. Now history says by New Year's Eve 2026, history says it'll be back up there. It'll be at least even with that. So we still have plenty of time. As you can see, it's from the low, which is that one or that one? That one. So that's the low, and it's already recovered. If you just like eyeball it and see how much it is to that top right there, to there, and then eyeball how much it is. Maybe 30%, maybe not quite that much. And so we've still got a long time to go until New Year's Eve 2026 to be back up there. And that's the whole thing, is for investing, you're not day trading. You're not looking at it from here to here, which is mere months even. You're not looking at that even. You're not looking at any short period of time. You're not even looking at a year. So yeah, 1 year it's down. Year to date it's up. 6 months it's up. 1 month it's up. So, and the 1 day on did drop a little bit on the Friday. But yeah, so we are in good shape for that. The Nasdaq, which is your tech stocks and such, that a little bit more. See, that went down more from the and that high was November 19th. So that was a month and a half earlier, about approximately, than the S&P's high. And so I'm still in good shape. Still in good shape overall. And so what that means, until it does get back up there, it's all on sale. All this area until it gets back up there is on sale. And it doesn't matter anyway, because you buy whether it's at the top of the market or if it's at the bottom of the market, which was right there for the Nasdaq and right there for the panty crash. Yeah, I started investing somewhere like right around in here. And I kept buying there, and I bought there, and I bought there, and I bought there, and I kept buying all the time. Keep buying on schedule, on purpose. All right. Should I give my plugs again? You can just click right there on my start page if you want to schedule a free consultation, or you can email me if you have a particular question, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Aslan just knows it from reading the history. Yeah. The subprime mortgage crisis, right? Everybody ought to have a home. No, well, they ought to have a home, but not a house. Everybody ought to have a house. Was your political buzz sentence at the time, or before that. Everybody ought to have a house. And that is certainly not true. And because that's what happened. Because you give the loans to people who can't afford the payments even. I mean, regardless, obviously they couldn't afford the house if they can't even afford the payments. Affording the payments is not a reason to buy anything either, though. It's not justification for buying it just because you can afford the payments. But they obviously couldn't afford the house because they couldn't afford the payments, and so those loans went under. Yep, absolutely. Alrighty, so thanks Syd and Aslan for dropping by. Thanks for letting me know the correct way to pronounce your name, and eventually I'll start thinking it in my head immediately instead of having to stop and think for a second what you said about that. So I remember it's Aslan, so I will be sure to do that. All right, so I'm just babbling now. Some would say I've just been babbling the entire time. Alrighty, so signing off, it's Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. Everyone have a good evening or relevant day part.